Good morning. You're listening to the Brief Wake Up, your mindful start to the day. I'm Handel, your daily coffee companion, helping you wake up informed, thoughtful, and maybe just a little amused before the day gets old. If you're commuting, corralling kids, or just standing in line for caffeine, you're in the right place. Let's get you caught up. Let's start with our health. Anxiety versus generalized anxiety disorder. What's the difference and where does it come from? Today on the health front, let's tackle something nearly everyone feels, but not everyone understands. Anxiety. We use the word all the time. I'm anxious about work. I'm anxious before a test. I'm anxious about that text I haven't replied to. But clinically, anxiety and generalized anxiety disorder are two very different things. Here's the simplest way to think about it. Anxiety is a feeling. GID is a condition. Anxiety on its own is normal. It's the body's built-in alarm system. When there's something uncertain, stressful, or important, your brain hits the alert button. Your heart speeds up, your thoughts get sharper, your senses turn up. It's your biology saying, pay attention. We're supposed to feel that. It helps us to prep for life's curveballs. But generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, is when that alarm system gets stuck in the on position. It's not tied to one event, one test, one argument, or one deadline. It's a persistent daily hum of worry that feels impossible to shut down. People with GAD worry about multiple things at once: health, finances, family, work, even when nothing specific is happening. And it's not mild worry. It's intrusive, exhausting, and hard to control. Think of it like this. Regular anxiety is a weather pattern. GAD is the climate. So what causes this? There's no single culprit. It's usually a mix of roots that weave together. One root is biology. Some brains are wired with a more sensitive alarm system. You might have inherited that switch from a parent or grandparent without even realizing it. Another root is experience. Chronic stress, trauma, unpredictable environments, or even a childhood where you had to stay alert can hardwire your system into over-readiness. Your brain learns that the world is unpredictable, so it pays attention to everything, all the time. Then there's mind-body rhythm. Sleep deprivation, hormonal shifts, caffeine overload, and even blood sugar drops can send your nervous system into overdrive. Your body feels unsafe, even when your mind can't point to a reason. And finally, there's thinking patterns, the habits you accumulate over years. If you grew up expecting worst-case scenarios, or you learn that worrying keeps you prepared, that pattern can grow into an automatic loop your brain runs without your permission. Here's the takeaway. Feeling anxious doesn't mean you have GAD. But if worry is your default setting, if it's constant, excessive, and wearing you down, that's when it's worth talking to a professional who can help you reset the system. Anxiety is part of being human. GAD is when that part starts steering the whole ship. On the news front, government shutdown, flight cancellations, visa delays, and a stalled weekend session. This morning we've got a major travel update as the federal government's shutdown grinds into another week, and the ripple effects are no longer subtle. The FAA has now ordered airlines to pull back flights at 40 of the busiest airports in the country. That means fewer planes in the sky, longer ground delays, and yes, more cancellations. We're already seeing it play out. More than 1,000 flights cancelled, thousands more delayed, and the agency warning cuts could climb from the current 4% to 10%, maybe even 15 to 20% if staffing continues to thin out. Why? Because thousands of air traffic controllers and TSA officers are working without pay, and more of them are calling out or taking second jobs just to cover their bills. The system is stretched, and the FAA is slowing things down to prevent safety risks. So if you're traveling this week, double check your flight before you leave home. Give yourself extra time at the airport, and if you've got connections through places like Atlanta, O'Hare, Newark, or LAX, expect some turbulence on the ground. What about embassy services? US passport and visa operations are mostly fee-funded, which means they're still running even during a shutdown. Consular windows are open, appointments are happening, but, and this is a big but, some surrounding services have slowed down. Agencies like the Department of Labor, which process certain work-related filings, are partially offline. That can affect employment visas and back-end approvals. And overseas embassies? Most are open, but some may scale back if funding or staffing gets tight. Places with already heavy demand could see longer wait times for appointments or slower turnarounds on new visa stamps. So the headline: visas aren't shut down, but delays are creeping in. If you're traveling soon on a J1, student, or work visa, build in extra time and keep a close eye on updates from your specific embassy. And one more note: Congress met for a rare Saturday session hoping to hash out a deal to reopen the government, and walked away empty-handed. No breakthrough, no framework, no timeline. So for now, the shutdown rolls on, and the travel fallout rolls with it. Shutdown politics may be stuck in Washington, but the consequences are now hitting airports, travelers, and international mobility in real time. We'll keep watching. Tech and culture. The Fermi Hypothesis. If the universe is full of life, where is everybody? Today in tech and culture, we're stepping way beyond smartphones and algorithms. We're stepping into the cosmos. Let's talk about the Fermi Hypothesis, the idea behind one of the biggest questions humans have ever dared to ask. If the universe is so big and statistically overflowing with planets, then where is everybody? This comes from physicist Enrico Fermi, who basically looked up at the night sky and said, "Hold on, if intelligent life is common, why haven't we seen any signs of it? No signals, no artifacts, no planet-sized thumbs up from our sci-fi neighbors, just silence." And that silence has shaped both science and culture. The Fermi Hypothesis says that with billions of galaxies, each holding billions of stars, many with Earth-like planets, intelligent life should pop up all over the place. Civilizations should thrive. They should build. They should expand. Some should be millions of years older than us, which means way more advanced. But instead of a galactic group chat, we've got a universe that feels like an empty room. So what gives? Some scientists think of the Great Filter. Something out there may be wiping civilizations out before they get too advanced, or their intelligence most often leads to the path of self-destruction. Others say maybe the universe is just too huge. Signals fade, distances stretch. We're calling into the void with tin can telephones. There's also the zoo theory, the idea that advanced civilizations know we're here, but purposely avoid contact to let us develop without interference. Basically, Earth is in the "do not tap the glass" section of the cosmic zoo. Culturally, this question influences everything: movies, books, the way we imagine aliens, even how we think about our place in the universe. It reflects our fear of being alone and our fear of not being alone. And here's the twist: some scientists believe we might be early, that intelligent life hasn't had time to bloom everywhere yet, and humans are one of the first sparks. If that's true, we're not the weird ones. We're the pioneers. The Fermi Hypothesis doesn't give us an answer. It gives us a mirror. It forces us to look at what intelligent life means, what it takes to survive, and whether we'll still be here millions of years from now to see who else shows up. One thing is certain: the universe is talking. We just haven't figured out whether we're supposed to listen harder or finally say something back. Time for the big sip. The halo effect. Why one good trait colors everything. Let's take a slow sip this morning and talk about the bias we all fall for without even noticing. The halo effect is that mental shortcut where one positive trait makes us assume a whole constellation of other positives. Someone's attractive, we assume they're kind. Someone's confident, we assume they're competent. Someone holds the door for us one time. Suddenly that's a good person. The brain just loves to round up. It starts early. In psychology studies, children tend to rate the friendlier looking cartoon character as smarter. Adults do the same thing with real people. A polished outfit, a warm smile, one articulate sentence, a fancy job title, and boom, our minds build an entire personality out of that tiny data point. And we don't even realize we're doing it. What's wild is that the halo effect works everywhere. Think about relationships. That one quality you adore in someone at the start can smear into everything else. She's funny, so she must be responsible. He's passionate, so he must be trustworthy. And when the cracks show, we're confused because we weren't judging the person, we were judging the glow. Workplace? Same deal. The star resident who presents well gets the benefit of the doubt on a tough call. The new hire with the impressive resume gets extra patience. Or flip it. Someone makes one mistake at orientation and the reverse halo kicks in, the horn effect. Suddenly, everything they do seems a little off. Here's the real twist. The halo effect doesn't just change how we judge others. It changes how we behave around them. Treat someone like they're competent, confident, or charismatic, and they often respond by becoming more of that. It's basically psychological auto-tuning. Our perception shapes their performance. So what do we do with this? Not eliminate it, we're human, not robots. But we can slow it down. Before you judge someone as amazing or terrible, ask yourself, is this the whole person or just the glow talking? What actual evidence do I have? And here's the part people forget. The halo effect can be used for good. If you want to be perceived more positively, focus on one strong, consistent trait. Show up prepared. Be warm. Follow through. Be the person who replies on time. One clear signal can change how people interpret the whole package. The halo effect isn't a flaw, it's a feature. But like any feature, it works best when you know it's running in the background. Okay, time to try a lighter roast. Boys are easier to raise than girls. Are they really? People love to drop this line like it's gospel. Boys are easier to raise than girls. Usually said with a knowing nod, like they've unlocked some parental cheat code. But let's be honest, that idea is basically held together with duct tape and old stereotypes. The truth? Boys and girls are different kinds of difficult at different stages. And pretending one gender is easy mode is just setting yourself up to get blindsided later. Let's break it down. In early childhood, girls often look easier because they mature faster in language, emotional awareness, and social cues. They'll tell you how they feel, what happened, who did it, and why they're upset. Meanwhile, boys, sometimes they communicate in one-word sentences and high-velocity running. You're standing there like, "Why are you crying?" And he's like, "I don't know," because he truly does not know. But fast forward to pre-adolescence and adolescence. That's when the emotional weather gets complex for girls. Friendship dynamics, social hierarchies, self-image, comparison culture, it all kicks in early. Girls tend to internalize stress, which means you might not see the storm until it's already swirling inside. Boys, they hit their turbulence a little later. you'll see more externalized behavior, impulsivity, risk-taking, rule testing, and the famous "what were you thinking" moments. They don't hide the storm. They share it with the whole household. Girls often show their concerning behaviors through withdrawal, perfectionism, anxiety, or people-pleasing. Boys often show it through acting out, aggression, or shutting down. One isn't easier than the other. They're just louder or quieter depending on the kid. And here's the twist that parents whisper about but rarely admit. A girl's emotional complexity can feel demanding, but it gives you insight into what's going on. A boy's silence might look like peace, until you realize it's actually just nothing's been processed yet. The truth is, kids aren't easy or hard because of their gender. They're unique combinations of temperament, wiring, environment, and timing. Raising a child is like coaching a sport. Different strengths, different challenges, different seasons. If you think you've got an easy one, just wait. Every stage comes with its own personality twist. So let's retire the idea that boys are simple and girls are complicated. The real answer is that every kid is their own little universe. Some communicate like a TED Talk. Some communicate like a car alarm. Either way, you're going to learn the language. For this morning's commemoration, we're taking a quick lap around the calendar to see what November 10th has lined up for us. And it's a surprisingly full day. First up, a major one, the United States Marine Corps birthday. Founded on this day in 1775, the Corps marks 249 years of service, grit, and discipline. Marines all over the world celebrate with their traditional cake cutting and the Commandant's message. If you know a Marine, today's the day to send that Semper Fi. Also on the global front, today is World Science Day for Peace and Development, a moment from UNESCO to highlight how science drives progress, from climate solutions to healthcare breakthroughs, and how it can be a tool for peace instead of conflict. A good reminder that innovation isn't just cool tech, it's a responsibility. We've also got International Accounting Day, honoring the people who keep businesses running, nonprofits stable, and the rest of us out of financial chaos. They're the quiet backbone of every organization, and today they get their spotlight. More on the reflective side, it's Forget-Me-Not Day. A small but meaningful observance encouraging us to reach out to someone who might be feeling overlooked. An old friend, a family member, a neighbor going through something. Tiny gestures go a long way. And finally, a fun one in the tech culture lane, Area Code Day. A nod to the 1947 system that gave structure to phone communication and eventually shaped local identity. Whether you rep the 305, the 212, or anything in between, today's your day. So that's November 10th, a blend of honor, reflection, and a couple of quirky celebrations to round it out. And that's your brief wake. A little health, a little cosmos, a little culture, and a whole lot of what's shaping the world around us. Take what you need from today's lineup, whether it's a reminder to slow your breathing, question your assumptions, or just text someone you haven't checked in on. I'll be right here tomorrow morning, same time, ready to wake the day up with you. Remember to be curious and be kind.